Welcome back, everyone, to OpenLine. We have with us Dr. Lisa Fazio, Vanderbilt Psychology professor. We're talking about misinformation, conspiracy theories. How do they take hold? How do they spread? Certainly something worthy of discussion in the time that we now find ourselves in. And we have a few calls here, so let's go to the phones, and let's go to Melanie. Hello, Melanie?
Melanie?
Yes, go right ahead.
Yes. Yes, one of the issues that I have is about the mask wearing. I think that it started out with misinformation when we were told that we didn't really need to wear them. And of course, now we know it's because of the shortage for the frontline workers. But now, since our president also won't wear one, or just recently has started wearing one, when I go out in public, I'm 73 years old, high risk, and I try to wear my mask and I try to stay a distance from people. But it's really, really super hard for me to even go to a grocery store, because even if somebody has their mask on, they think it's okay to just walk right up onto me. So I actually even got kicked out of Walmart because so many people were not wearing a mask. Employees were sneezing and coughing without a mask on, and I started taking pictures of the people that didn't have a mask on. This was right after Mayor Cooper had made it mandated that we had to wear it in Davidson County. And I was actually asked by the security guard and the manager to leave the store. And I don't understand why, since I'm trying to do the right thing, I was made the bad guy, and everybody else was allowed to just be oblivious to what we really should be doing. But I don't know if it started because of the fact that we were told we didn't need it. Instead of being told we didn't need it, why weren't we told, yes, it would be safer if we had something over our face, but right now we just don't have enough to be able to supply everybody? I think that would have given us a whole much better start.
Yes, Melanie, thank you for your call. I mean, the communication around this virus has been very frustrating. There have been mixed messages. There is no doubt. It has come from the top. And that's an example that Melanie's absolutely right. We were told at one point masks wouldn't really help. Now we're told they're a matter of life and death. And people, it's just one of these emotional things that we're seeing, people yelling at each other in stores. And for Melanie, it is a matter of her health. It's a very important thing here. So I guess, all right, what do you think of that call?
Yeah, I think she makes a really good point that the communication around masks was totally botched. What scientists and people should have said was masks. There's evidence masks might be helpful, but right now we need to prioritize frontline workers. And so you guys need to be careful. You can't be buying up all the masks. And I understand why people felt like they couldn't trust Americans. It was right after there'd been toilet paper runs, there'd been all sorts of things that people were hoarding. And I understand why they might have felt like they couldn't be fully open with the American public. But I think we would have been much better served if someone had said, we're not sure yet if masks will be useful or not for this new virus. Right now, what we do know is that they'll be super important for frontline workers, and we need to make sure we have enough for them. And we're going to be looking at this, and we'll make more recommendations later. Because right now, it's much harder to get the message out that now we've got studies, now we've got real data, now we know that masks are really important for slowing the spread, but people are more resistant to that because it goes against what they were told earlier in the pandemic.
Yeah, that's a bad one. And we are seeing, there's some crazy conspiracy theories about masks. I mean, misinformation that I'm seeing leaders in certain communities put out there. And again, sometimes you hesitate to say them because they're so crazy, but that's where we are now, that people are putting all these different kind of things out there, and it maybe could have been different if there had been one voice in the beginning saying the same thing. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. All right, let's go to Jeff. Hello, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Go right ahead.
Thank you so much for taking my call, y'all. I am a caveman. I don't use computers at all. I use TV as my primary source of information, and I really don't believe everything I hear. Do you think I'm okay remaining ignorant, or what other source should I seek for information? Thank you.
Besides TV, well, newspapers. So he doesn't use the. So let's say, okay, yeah, he doesn't have access to a computer. What do you recommend?
Yeah, local newspapers. I think one of the biggest problems we have in the country right now is that our local papers are dying, and we're losing one of the sources of local news and investigative journalism that used to be around. So I'm a big supporter of getting subscriptions to local newspapers. National newspapers also do a good job if you want to subscribe to one of those. But yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with not getting your news from the internet. I think you can have a balanced and good media diet relying on television and print media. Again, though, you want to make sure that you're getting a varied diet and it's not all coming from one source.
And there are a lot of people that get a lot of their news now from social media, right? And that's a problem.
It is, because often what you see in social media isn't what you went out to seek. It's just kind of coming at you passively. And so you have no control over what you're seeing. You might be seeing a lot of true news. You also might be seeing myths, misinformation, things that your aunt's sister told her and she's now passing along. And so there's just a lot more noise there that you have to sift through.
Yeah, that's a big problem. Okay, appreciate both those calls. We're going to take a break, come back, take more calls. There's the number, 615-737-PLUS, 615-737-7587. Take a break, be back right after this.